Okay, so make sure that when you do a procedure, that it's clearly spelled out so anybody could follow it, right? Don't assume the person already knows what you're doing. Just because it's obvious to you doesn't mean it's obvious to someone else. And your target when you write a procedure is someone else. Now, the next thing is data. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this here, making a data table. We'll spend a little more detailed time with that later on. But the important things to keep in mind with a data table, it should always be clearly labeled, including the units of measure. I will tell you right now that when we've talked to high school science teachers and say, hey, what's the thing you really want to make sure they know? And they go, use the units of measure. And so this is something that's going to be really important. Whenever you make a data table, you need the manipulated variable, the responding variable, including the units that it's counted in, or the units that you have there. Like it might be including the cost of the paper towel, as well as how many, I don't know, milliliters of water it absorbed, things like that. You got to have the milliliters if that's what your unit is. If your unit is inches, say inches. If your unit is centimeters, say centimeters. Got to do it. Okay, now the conclusion. This is going to be one of the most important parts of the lab procedure that we're going to be revisiting in the 8th grade science assessment that they do for Washington State. Every year they have kids write a conclusion, and I can tell you the thing that they're looking for in their conclusions to score it are the same things we're going to teach you. We want you to be using in a conclusion the CER format. That's claim, evidence, and reasoning. You got to clearly state what your statement is of your conclusion. What is the answer to the question? You got to give evidence for it, citing specific data that you have in your lab, and then explain the reasoning, how that data leads to that conclusion. Okay, those are the big things about how do you write a lab report. Now, we're going to be doing a series of labs here coming up. I hope you enjoy them. I'll tell you more about those in a bit. Adios.